Hello and welcome to the ultimate guide on building a production-ready viral game for Telegram. In this series, I'll walk you through every single step of creating a complete Telegram Mini app from scratch, using Next.js, a robust backend, and integrating a full in-game economy with Telegram stars and Ton blockchain payments. We'll start with a completely empty folder and build our way up to a fully functional, beautiful, and secure application. By the end, you'll have a deep understanding of the entire development lifecycle. As you can see, we are starting in an empty directory called ViralTG Game Tutorial inside Visual Studio Code. Let's begin by setting up our Next.js project. First, I'm opening a new terminal. The very first command we'll run is npx create next app latest. This is the standard command to bootstrap a new Next.js application. We are using the latest tag to ensure we get the newest version, which as of this recording is Next.js 15. After hitting enter, the interactive setup CLI will guide us through the initial project configuration. It asks a few questions. Would you like to use TypeScript? We'll select yes. TypeScript is essential for building large maintainable applications like this one, as it provides type safety and helps catch errors early. Would you like to use ESLint? Yes again. ESLint will help us maintain code quality and consistency. Would you like to use Tailwind CSS? Absolutely. Tailwind is a fantastic utility-first CSS framework that will allow us to build our custom cartoon-style UI quickly and efficiently. Would you like to use an SRC directory? We'll say no. For this project, we'll keep our app directory at the root. Would you like to use App Router? Yes is the only right answer here. The App Router is the new paradigm in Next.js and is perfect for building modern server-centric applications. Finally, would you like to customize the default import alias? We'll stick with the default no. This means we can import components using the @prefix. Now the CLI will install all the necessary dependencies, including React, Next.js, and Tailwind. This might take a minute or two. Alright, the installation is complete. You can see that Create Next App has generated a standard project structure for us, including the app directory, public folder, and configuration files like next.config.ts and tsconfig.json. The next step is to install the specific libraries we'll need for our game. I'll clear the terminal and run a single npm install command with all our required packages. Okay, let's break down the packages we are installing. Here's the command. Let's go through these one by one. Fort Awesome, Font Awesome Free. We'll use this for icons throughout our user interface. Neon Database Serverless. This is the driver for Neon, our serverless PostgreSQL database. It's optimized for environments like Vercel. Parallel Drive CUID2, a secure, collision-resistant library for generating unique IDs, which we'll use for our database primary keys. Ton Core and Ton Web. These are crucial libraries for interacting with the Ton blockchain, specifically for validating wallet addresses and transactions. Ton Connect UI React. This package provides the official pre-built React components for connecting a user's Ton wallet like TonKeeper to our app. It handles the QR codes and deep linking for a seamless user experience. TWA Dev SDK. This is the official Telegram web app SDK. It's the bridge that allows our web app to communicate with the native Telegram client for things like getting user data, closing the app, or opening invoices. App stash rate limit and Upstash Redis. These are for security. We'll use Upstash as a serverless Redis provider to implement robust rate limiting on our API endpoints, protecting our app from spam and abuse. Drizzle ORM. This is our ORM, or Object Relational Mapper. It allows us to write TypeScript code to define our database schema and interact with it instead of writing raw SQL. It's modern, type-safe, and works great with Neon. Matter.js and PolyDecamp. These two are the heart of our game's physics. Matter.js is a fantastic 2D physics engine, and PolyDecamp is a required dependency for handling complex non-circular shapes. We also have some development dependencies to install. Next, let's install our dev dependencies with this command: types Matter.js. This provides TypeScript type definitions for Matter.js. .env. This allows us to load environment variables from a .env file into our scripts. DrizzleKit. This is the command line tool for Drizzle ORM. We'll use it to generate and push our database schema migrations. TSX, a simple tool that lets us run TypeScript files directly, which is perfect for our setup scripts. Great, all dependencies are now installed. Now let's bring in our static assets. These are the images, audio files, and fonts that will make our game look and feel alive. I have them prepared in a folder here. I'll drag and drop them into the public directory. Inside this public folder, we now have audio, contains all the sound effects for the game. Game assets. This holds all the animal images, audios, icons, and shape definitions for our physics engine. Images contains UI elements like the gold coin icon, and a few root files like icon128.png and ToneConnect manifest.json, which are necessary for wallet connection and PWA functionality. We'll edit the manifest later. With the project structure and assets in place, it's time to configure our application. This is a critical step. First, I'll open app/globals.css. I'm going to replace the default boilerplate with our custom CSS. This file defines our color palette using CSS variables, sets up our custom fonts, and includes reusable component styles for things like our 3D buttons, cards, and that signature checkered background. It also contains all the keyframe animations that bring our UI to life, like the floating shapes and button bounce effects. We'll be referencing these styles throughout our components. Next, I'll update next.config.ts. Here we need to add a few things. First, we'll allow images from t.me, so we can display user avatars directly from Telegram. Second, we add a header to set X frame options to allow all. This is very important because Telegram mini apps run inside an iframe, and without this header, the browser would block it from rendering. Finally, we expose our bot's username to the client-side code through an environment variable. Now for the most important configuration file, the environment variables. I'll create a new file at the root of the project called .env.local. This file must never be committed to a public repository, as it contains all our secret keys. I'll paste in our template. Let's walk through each variable. Telegram bot token and Telegram bot username. These come from BotFather on Telegram when you create a new bot. Telegram app name. This is the short name you give your app in BotFather, usually just app. Database URL. This is the connection string for our Neon PostgreSQL database, which we'll create shortly. Upstash Redis REST URL and token. These are the credentials for our app/Redis instance for rate limiting. Next, public app URL. This is the public URL where our app will be hosted. For now, we'll use localhost 3000. Next, public Ton admin wallet. This is the Ton wallet address that will receive payments from users. Ton Center API key. An API key from Ton Center to get better performance when querying the Ton blockchain. And finally, Telegram webhook secret token. A secret token will generate to secure our payment webhook. Let's get these values now. I'll open Telegram and search for BotFather. I'll start by creating a new bot with the new bot command. BotFather asks for a display name. I'll call it Viral TG Game Tutorial. Then it asks for a username, which must end in bot. I'll use Viral TG Game Tutorial bot. There we go. BotFather has given us our HTTP API token. This is our Telegram bot token. I'll copy this and paste it directly into our .env.local file. I'll also add the bot's username. Next, we need to create the mini-app entry associated with this bot. I'll use the new app command in BotFather. It asks me to select the bot, and I'll choose the one we just created. Then it asks for a title, a short description, and a footer. It asks for a GIF, but we can skip that by sending empty. Now the most important part, the web app URL. We'll update this later with our URL, but for now I'll just put temporary.url as a placeholder. Finally, it asks for a short name. This is what we define as Telegram app name in our .env file. It's used to construct the direct link to the app. I'll use app. And that's it. Our app is now registered with Telegram. Next up is database. We are using Neon. I'm logged into my Neon console. I'll click New Project and name it Viral TG Game Tutorial. It's important to choose a region that's geographically close to your users for lower latency. I'll select Singapore. After the project is created, I'll go to the dashboard. The key here is to get the pooled connection screen. Serverless functions can open many connections, and the pooled connection prevents us from exhausting the database's connection limit. I'll copy the connection string that ends with pooler and paste it into the database URL variable in my .env.local file. Now for Redis. I'm in my app/stash console. I'll click Create Database, give it a name, and again I'll choose the Singapore region to keep it close to my database and serverless functions. I'll select a plan and create the database. Once it's ready, AppStash gives us the REST API credentials. We need two things: the AppStash Redis REST URL, the endpoint, and the AppStash Redis REST token. I'll copy both of these and paste them into our .env.local file. Next, we need a Ton wallet address to receive payments. You can get this from any Ton wallet like TonKeeper. I have one ready, so I'll paste it into the next public Ton admin wallet field. We also need a Ton Center API key. This helps our server communicate more reliably with the Ton blockchain. In Telegram, you can find the Ton Center bot. Inside the bot, you can create a new API key. I'll name it, select the mainnet, and it generates a key for me. I'll copy this key and add it to my .env.local file as Ton Center API key. The last variable we need is the Telegram webhook secret token. This is a random secret string that we'll use to verify that payments webhooks are actually coming from Telegram. We create a simple script for this in the scripts folder called generate-webhook-secret.ts. In the terminal, I'll run npx tsx scripts/generate-webhook-secret.ts. it generates a secure random token. I'll copy this entire string and paste it as the value for Telegram webhook secret token in our .env.local file. I'll clear the terminal, and now our environment setup is complete. Save the file.